Standard 7 Subject English Unit 4.5 from the Selfish Giant.
Standard 7th. Subject English. Chapter From the Selfish Giant. Welcome, children, to this session of English class. Today's topic is very interesting. It is a wonderful story of a selfish giant, written by Oscar Fingallo Flaherty Wills Wilde. He was an Irish playwright, novelist, essayist, and a poet. The Selfish Giant is a short fantasy story for children which revolves around a giant who builds a wall to keep children out of his garden, but learns compassion from the innocence of the children. So let's start reading the story. Every afternoon, as they were coming from school, the children used to go and play in the giant's garden. It was a large, lovely garden with soft green grass. Here and there over the grass stood beautiful flowers like stars, and there were 12 peach trees that in the springtime broke out into delicate blossoms of pink and pearl, and in the autumn bore rich fruit. The birds sat on the trees and sang so sweetly that the children used to stop their games in order to listen to them. "How happy we are!" they cried to each other. One day, the giant came back. He had been to visit his friend the Cornish ogre and had stayed with him for 7 years. After the 7 years, he determined to return to his own castle. When he arrived, he saw the children playing in the garden. "What are you doing here?" he cried in a very gruff voice, and the children ran away. "My own garden is my own garden," said the giant. "Anyone can understand that, and I will allow nobody to play in it but myself." So he built a high wall all around it and put up a notice board. "Trespassers will be prosecuted." The poor children had now nowhere to play. They tried to play on the road, but the road was very dusty and full of hard stones, and they did not like it. They used to wander round the high walls when their lessons were over and talk about the beautiful garden inside. "How happy we were there," they said to each other. Then the spring came, and all over the country there were little blossoms and little birds. Only in the garden of the Selfish Giant it was still winter. The birds did not care to sing in it as there were no children, and the trees forgot to blossom. Once a beautiful flower put its head out from the grass, but when it saw the notice board, it was so sorry for the children that it slipped back into the ground again and went off to sleep. The only people who were pleased were the snow and the frost. "Spring has forgotten this garden," they cried, "so we will live here all the year round." The snow covered up the grass with her great white cloak, and the frost painted all the trees silver. Then they invited the north wind to stay with them, and he came. He was wrapped in furs, and he roared all day about the garden and blew the chimney pots down. "This is a delightful spot," he said. "We must ask the hell to visit." So the hell came. Every day for 3 hours he rattled on the roof on the castle till he broke most of the slates, and then he ran round and round the garden as fast as he could go. He was dressed in grey, and his breath was like ice. "I cannot understand why the spring is so late in coming," said the Selfish Giant. As he sat at the window and looked out at his cold white garden, "I hope there will be a change in the weather." But the spring never came, nor the summer. The autumn gave golden fruit to every garden, but to the giant's garden she gave none. "He is too selfish," she said. So it was always winter there, and the north wind and the hell and the snow danced about through the trees. Continue. One morning the giant was lying awake in bed when he heard some lovely music. It sounded so sweet to his ears that he thought it must be the king's musicians passing by. It was really only a little linnet singing outside his window. But it was so long since he had heard a bird sing in his garden that it seemed to him to be the most beautiful music in the world. Then the hell stopped dancing over his head, and the north wind ceased roaring, and a delicious perfume came to him through the open casement. I believe the spring has come at last, said the giant, and he jumped out of bed and looked out. What did he see? He saw a most wonderful sight. Through a little hole in the wall, the children had crept in, and they were sitting in the branches of the trees. In every tree that he could see, there was a little child, and the trees were so glad to have the children back again that they had covered themselves with blossoms and were waving their arms gently above the children's heads. The birds were flying about and twittering with delight, and the flowers were looking up through the green grass and laughing. It was a lovely scene. Only in one corner it was still winter. It was the farthest corner of the garden, and in it was standing a little boy. He was so small that he could not reach up to the branches of the tree, and he was wandering all around it, crying bitterly. The poor tree was still covered with frost and snow, and the north wind was blowing and roaring about it. "Climb up, little boy," said the tree, and it bent its branches down as low as it could. But the boy was too tiny, and the giant's heart melted as he looked out. "How selfish I have been," he said. "Now I know why the spring would not come here. I will put that poor little boy on the top of the tree, and then I will knock down the wall, and my garden shall be the children's playground forever." He was really very sorry for what he had done. So he crept downstairs and opened the front door quite softly and went out into the garden. But when the children saw him, they were so frightened that they all ran away, and the garden became winter again. Only the little boy did not run, for his eyes were so full of tears that he did not see the giant coming. And the giant stole up behind him and took him gently in his hand and put him up into the tree. And the tree broke at once into blossom. And the birds came and sang on it. And the little boy stretched out his two arms and flung them round the giant's neck, kissed him. And the other children, when they saw that the giant was not wicked any longer, came running back, and with them came the spring. "It is your garden now, little children," said the giant, and he took a great axe and knocked down the wall. And when the people were going to market at 12 o'clock, they found the giant playing with the children in the most beautiful garden they had ever seen. Children, wasn't it a wonderful story? Yes, ma'am, it was really very interesting. Children, let's try to find the meanings of some difficult words from the lesson. Determined, having made a firm decision. Gruff, rough, hard. Cloak, a loose outer piece of clothing, fastened at neck. Linnet, a bird. Perfume, pleasant smell. Casement, a window. Crept in, moved slowly and carefully. Now please answer my questions. How was the garden? It was a large, lovely garden with soft green grass. Where had the giant been for 7 years? The giant had been to visit his friend, the Cornish ogre. He stayed with him for 7 years. Who were pleased to be in the giant's garden? Snow and Frost were pleased to be in the giant's garden. Why was the little boy crying bitterly? The little boy was crying bitterly as he could not reach up to the branches of the tree. What do you prefer, summer or winter? Why? I prefer winter because the atmosphere is very pleasant in winter. The summer is too hot here. What do the characters in the story prefer? The characters in the story prefer spring season. What could be the reason behind their choice? During spring, the trees blossom. The birds come and fly with happiness. Flowers come up through the green grass, and everywhere the scene is lovely. This could be the reason behind their choice. The winter is very cold in that region. Good children. Now tell me things that you usually share with others and how you feel. I share my tiffin with others and I like it very much to eat together with friends. Many times I get to eat my favorite things even if I had brought something routine. How do you feel when you eat all by yourself? I feel bad and selfish when I eat all alone. How do you feel when you play in a team and you practice alone? Playing in a team is too much fun and practicing alone is very boring. How do you feel when you hear a piece of news and you tell the news to others? When I hear some news, I have my own reaction depending on the news. But when I tell the news to others, we discuss it and I understand all the aspects of the news. You read something nice, but don't tell others about it, and you tell interesting things you have read. When I read something nice and I don't tell others, my joy is limited. But when I read something which is very interesting and tell others about it, we all enjoy the story. How do you feel when you learn to make something new and you teach it to others? I feel very happy when I learn to make something new and I am happier when I teach it to others. So tell me about things which you share with others. I share many things with my friends, my siblings and my parents. For example, I share my books, pencils, pens, paints, opinions, excitement with my friends. I share my clothes, things, bed, toys, food with my siblings and my thoughts, sorrows, happiness with my parents. The things that I don't share with anyone are my toothbrush, my undergarments, and my favorite eatables. Well said, children. Children, let's come back to the lesson. In the lesson, the author describes the seasons and natural elements as though they were persons. This is known as personification. Name some elements which are personified in the lesson and tell whether each is shown as a good or bad person. Spring, snow, frost, north wind, hell, flower are the elements which are personified in the lesson, and amongst all these, only spring and flower are shown as good persons, and rest of them, snow, frost, north wind and hell are shown as bad persons. Very good. Now list all the words related to weather and seasons from the story. Springtime, blossoms, autumn, winter, snow, frost, north wind, ice, summer, morning, afternoon, blowing, fruits, flowers, singing birds, green grass. Good. Now let's try to turn the story into a play as an activity. Scene 1. In the giant's garden. Character, narrator, children, birds, etc. It is a beautiful garden, large, lovely with soft green grass. Here and there over the garden are beautiful flowers like stars, and there are 12 peach trees. The birds sit on the trees and sing sweetly, and children are busy playing. How happy we are to play here. This garden is really wonderful. In the giant garden. Characters, narrator, children, giant. The giant returns after long 7 years. He sees the children playing in his garden. How dare you all come in my garden? This garden is only for me. No one is allowed to come here. Get out from here and don't come again. Leave the garden. On the dusty road. Narrator: Children. The children are sad and decide to play on the road, but the road is very dusty and full of hard stones. The children do not like it. This road is too dusty and full of stones. How can we play here? We will get hurt. We can't play here. How happy we were in the garden. But the giant has prohibited us to go there. In the giant's garden. Characters: Spring, Winter, Narrator, Beautiful flowers, Snow, Frost, North wind, Hell. The spring has come all over the country, but not in the giant's garden. The people who are visiting the garden were Winter, Snow, Frost, North wind, and Hell, creating lots of problem in the garden. Spring: I don't want to go to the giant's garden. He is too selfish. He didn't allow the children to play. I like to go to the places where there are children. Beautiful flowers: I too don't want to bloom there. I also like when children play around me. Winter: Wow! I'm glad that spring is not ready to visit this garden. I will call my all friends to stay with me. We will stay the whole year and enjoy. Narrator: He calls Snow, Frost, North wind, and Hell. Snow: Spring has forgotten this garden, so we will live here all the year around. Frost: I will paint all the trees silver. North wind: This is a delightful spot. I'm enjoying here. We must ask the Hell also to visit. Hell: Thanks for inviting me at such wonderful place. I like your company and we will enjoy together and stay for long.